Alright guys, as in the other video, it was determined that it was my gasket that pretty much dry rotted since it's been in over since what, maybe 2009 or 10. So it's time for a new set. So what I is 4 spots up top and 4 spots on the bottom. It's best to remove all 4 bolts out of the top, and at the bottom you can loosen the bolts, the 4 bolts, and the header will slide up and out of it because it got like a slit in the bottom. So it was a little pain. And the tools you'll need a 1/2 inch, you need a metric size 12, a 9/16, and those were 3 sides that I primarily used. Wasn't bad, it's just a pain in the butt to get to the actual bolts itself, you know, but wasn't too bad. Been so long since I did it. You got the first spot here, second spot, you got number 3 there, but number 3 and number 4, all them out. Just this one bolt, when I take that out, it should fall down. That's that side. And on the other side, you pretty much got the same deal. And I'll go underneath to show you a better look at it. Alright y'all, here's the other video. The headers was of course inside of here. This is the catalytic converter going into the headers right here. And these 2 bolts right here was a 9/16 that hold it together, keep it from leaking. So like I was saying in the other video, the bolts at the bottom, you don't have to do nothing but just loosen these bolts up. You don't have to really take them out right here. That way you can slide it out. But if you go up top, make sure you take all 4 of the bolts out. Take all 4 of the bolts out. That way you can slide this up. And get that out of the way. Now you gotta play a game of Tetris to move the header out the way. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Trying to get those out of the way. But yeah, but I'm gonna take all those bolts out because I use 9/16, 1/2 inch, and a metric size 12. Different size bolts. When I bought the headers, they didn't have like their own hardware, so I just used what I had it. All those on, and the bolts, I believe, really ain't matched to deal with all that heat, so the hardware wasn't hard to come out. So if you got you can tell you can have a leak in your exhaust because it be extremely loud, or your gasket seal is worn like mine, just pop it out. I know it take a little time. I try to do stuff to save me a little money from going to the dealership, because the dealership got to change out your header's gasket. You can probably pay about a nice little penny, $400–500. And you can get the gasket pretty cheap, maybe 20–30 bucks. And if you know what you're doing, you save a lot of money. So this is the left side. I finally got this out. I got to mess with the right side a little bit more. Been giving me a lot of little pain for the most part. I know up top, up here a little bit, we got a tough little, this last one, this 4th one over here, it's kind of hard to get to, and it's give me quite a pain in the butt. So what I'm gonna do, this is one right up here, right here. So what I'm gonna do, I already got the bottom loose, so I'm gonna take all the ones out the bottom, every other one out the top, the other 3, so it'll just be to the point I can wiggle this up, and I can be able to angle it a little bit better to get that top one out, because that one is a pain in the butt for some reason. And also you can see this side, this is where the two 9/16 bolts were hooked up. So that's it for now. All right, y'all, I'm back again. I finally got the closing part out of it. All right, hello everybody, I'm back. Finally got the right side header off, which was a pain in the butt, especially this one right here at the top. It was a pain in the butt. This one right here, right there where my fingers pointing at. Yeah, that one at the top right here, it's a pain in the butt to get that one out. But you can see that I definitely need to get a header's gasket, because that is all crap looking. Sorry it's not a good view, but should have closed down the hood there. But yeah, it's a long overdue. So finally I got it. You can see all that was definitely long overdue. So I'm gonna take that rest of that header gasket off. I'm gonna scrape it off, and then I'm gonna spray it down with some alcohol or something, and then get a scrubby brush and finish cleaning it off. Get the header out the way. Quite a bit of carbon built up too, but haven't been driving like I should have. But that's the gist of it. It's not a bad deal taking it out, but which it could have been more helpful showing you how to take it out, but I'll get better. Thank you. Hello again. I finally got this back together. I got some aftermarket bolts from AutoZone, like 11/16, so it's a little off, so it's holding it together pretty sturdy, better than it was. Finally got the gasket on there and replaced. It's not too bad. Got all the bolts tightened now, pretty snug. I didn't super torqued it because on the other side of the other engine over here, the right side headers, when I first put them on back in like 07, 08, I over torqued it and broke one of the bolts off. So once I got the gasket on, again, whenever you do this, you'll see the slit at the bottom of the headers, and you'll see the gasket that'll have slit at it too, like this one right here. Just put it there. So you can see this one off. It's 4 slits on the bottom of the left hand one, but if you look here, there's a slit right here even in the gasket, so you can put that in like 1 or 2 threads on this end and on the other end. And then when you put a gasket in by itself first, and I put 2 bolts in at the bottom to hold it in, and then I put the gasket in, and then I put other bolts in to help line it up as good as I could. Because like this part of the gasket, as you see here, it has a end, just a hole there, but this one has a slit right here where you can slide into it. So it's not a bad deal. It's anybody can do it. It's just time and patience to get to every little bolt and every little crevice, which can be a pain in the butt. Like this top back bolt right here, this one, and the 4 bottom bolts, you put them in from the bottom, and the 3 up top, you put them in from up top. That's the best way to do it on the left hand side. And then of course these 2, you put them down here. And I'm done with the left side. Now I got to do the right side. Just time and patience. Time and patience. All right, everybody, I'm back again. Here go the right hand side. Got the header off, of course, but now I got the gasket, which is torn in pieces. Now I see why I had the exhaust leak here. So what I'm gonna do is get my little scratchy little brush and try to clean that out before I put the new one on there. All right, y'all, I'm back. Seems like I got a better angle to show you at least the top side of the right hand one. Not bad. Sometimes you just gotta fight with it. Turn it by hand till it locks in. Sometimes it will fight you. Yeah, it definitely give me a run for my money right now. I think some of the bolts I got is a little bit short. So I think that's my main issue here. Yeah. So I gotta get new bolts and try it again, y'all. I finally finished the number 2 side. Tighten the bolts down pretty good. There's one bolt that I could not get to. As you can see, I'm gonna have to get this one right there. Probably take it to a place where I have to do it myself whenever I have time. Drill it out so I can be able to use that bolt hole. And I got one up top that did not want to go in, so the gasket kind of thick, so maybe I got to like put a hole in it a little bigger so the bolt will fit in. But all in all, not too bad of a deal replacing that. Just take time and patience. I've been out here for far longer than what I want to be. And it's nice and warm out here in the state of Kansas. But all to all, not too bad. You know, you got the 2 bolts here. Like I said, I pieced these together at AutoZone. They're 11/16 for each side. So and the other bolts was right at a 1/2 inch. So everything worked out pretty good. I also get at least maybe about 1.5 inches worth of bolt. I bought some that were too short, so do that and you'll be good to go. It's not bad. Save so much money. Make sure to clean underneath the headers on the engine part whenever you're done. Have a blessed day. Replace the headers. Well, the headers gasket. But somehow my truck, it'll run for a little while and then it'll throw on the check gauges. It'll shut off and then throw on the check gauges light. See, I got my AC turned all the way to the max. It won't even come on. So I'm guessing that's the reason why I'm getting the check gauges light. These 2 lights been on because of the master cylinder. I gotta replace that. It's giving a low fluid light, but it has a full. It's at full capacity. So those 2 lights normally always on. I just gotta replace that master cylinder. Just ain't had time to do it. But see, the truck do pretty good. Sound better since I replaced the headers gasket. I ain't gotta worry about a leak at the headers. But for some reason, it's doing this now. Okay, I see. You got the low oil level light, so that might be the culprit. That, and then it's not getting an AC to come out. So I don't know. We'll see.